Good morning. I have too much stuff everywhere. After this painting, I'll clean my desk. It's kind of like after every painting, I just like clear this whole thing. And this has gone on a bit, so that's where we're at. I need to... This chair, Steven was busy like oiling some hinges or something, and it's like, hey, will you go get the chair in my painting studio? And he's like, it doesn't squeak, but I think he didn't know how it squeaked. It's just like a little squeak. Good morning, everyone. I think my volume is too loud on my end. Let's fix that. That's better. Did he replace the air filters? No, but we can tell him that when he comes in here because he was at the store this morning. So he was doing other things. He went to Costco at open. If he comes in, oh, he'll come in. He definitely will have a question for me about where something goes that he had to buy for me. Oh, good morning, everyone. Where is my mouse clicked? Oh, it's clicked on the right window. Wonderful. Good job me thinking ahead. We have a 24-month resub at Tier 2 from Sage of Stars. Thank you for hitting 2 years and at Tier 2. I very much appreciate that. Tell him it needs to go in the air vents. Hey, that ground beef I told you to buy from Costco, you know, I know we said we'd portion it out and that, you know, that's going to be like a later project, so it can't go in the freezer yet, but put it in the air vents. I don't think that'd go very well for anyone. That is too hot. We have a 23-month resub from Anise, 26 months from Sakura Celica, 19 months from Eliasan89, 20 months from Elsimi82, 26 from the YLLP, 26 from Dark Overlord, and 26 from Bardic Puppy. All three of you in a row. Do we have Cinco de Mayo plans? Not really. We could make some. I don't know. I might make that lavender cake this weekend. So, like, after this, I think I have to go get the stuff that he couldn't get at Costco for it, like cream cheese. Because, like, Costco has cream cheese. But we don't use cream cheese otherwise, and I don't need that many cream cheeses. I just need one. So, like, maybe I'll do that, and then I'll be like, hey, if people want to do something for Cinco de Mayo, probably Sunday night, which would make sense given the schedule that we have right now, then people can bring things, but I have cake. So that's what my contribution is cake. You always need extra cheese? No, I don't use cream cheese. I only like it in desserts. I don't like it. Like, I don't put it on bagels. I don't use it for anything. I only want it in frosting. Cake and margaritas. We could do that. We have an 8-month resub from Shizue 1003, 2 months from Lord Andy 1258, 25 months from Darkness Bride, and then Lord Andy gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much for the gift subs this morning. We have gift subs going to the Cactusay, Roasted Gravy, Magi Was Taken, Blazing Dracos, and the tacos are here. Anise, I thought you were putting cream cheese in margaritas for a second. I don't know about that. We have a 25-month resub from Brina BX and 12 months from Private Butter for Christ. Shouldn't have set my paintbrushes down. Thanks for hitting the year. I do wish I had gotten up slightly earlier and been done with my coffee. So I was like more awake. Oh yeah, we did math last week. A lot of math. That's all my math. There's no math this week. I'm very glad about that. So we're working on this part today. There's such a glare. There we go. So you can see where the windows are, where like the paper would be back here. So we're just going to like make this look more like wood texture, do a bit more shading with it. And then like that's the plan, is like my goal is to finish all of this part, all of the wood. But I also want to block in these wisteria because they're chalk right now. And then I can be done with the chalk. So my first plan is to do that. And I'm going to do that with my shading gray marker, which I think is this one. It's hard to tell. Yeah, that's this one, which is a transparent. So it's just transparent. And then I think I might just mix up a light version of this color and then do a little bit of the highlights so I can see it. And then we'll work on the wood part. Also, if you were here Monday night, we made the cookies for my grandma. They got delivered like 10 minutes ago. So I texted her and said, you should go check your mail today. So, I don't know when she'll be calling me, but she will be calling me. Okay, so our light is coming from like up here, and this is recessed, so this is going to be dark. Can't wait to hear her reactions. She might call me during stream. She doesn't know my schedule at all, but she might text me and be like concerned about messing up my schedule because she thinks I'm real busy all the time. So I don't know if she'll call me or if she'll just like text me and be like, call me. Did you tell her it's her mom's recipe? I wrote Grandma Agnes's cookies snickerdoodle on the Ziploc bag, so she'll know. We have a 23-month resub from Jacebook. Thank you, Jacebook. Good morning. This isn't as dark as I wanted it to be. Which means we're gonna have to just do a few layers of this. I did tell my dad that she was getting cookies because I talked to him earlier this week. And then he started sending me multiple recipes for chocolate cherry cookies. I was like, are you trying to hint at something? And then we had a short family discussion about how Rhonda doesn't like those chocolate and cherry together, and neither does Carly. And before your dad visits, your grandma does steal cookies. He's a little far away at this point. That actually looks really nice. It's really hard to see, but it looks really nice. Carly and Rhonda won't get any? I guess not. I'll make cherry chocolate cookies and they won't get any. Alright, now I have to do this one. The song sounds a little Disco Elysium, which has been my current music that I listen to lately. And then I'm gonna give this another layer just because I don't think it's dark enough. Now we're gonna mix up a lighter version and then just do a little bit of highlight so I don't lose it in erasing the chalk. For some reason I decided to use a flat. That was not the best choice, but that's fine. We have 510 bits from Denise, who says, I forgot. I have good vibes to share. I got approved for an improved mortgage rate and repayment today. I have good vibes. Thank you. Congratulations. It's good news. Okay, the left one is done. The chalk is really messing with it because it's also there. The song was Male Specialty. Oh, I bought grapes last night when we were at the store. And they advertised that you need to feel the flavor. I don't think flavor is something you feel. So I need to make sure I eat grapes today. Okay, this is set. We'll let that dry. Later we will erase the chalk. If anyone remembers, ask me if I ate grapes today during stream, because otherwise I'll eat them during stream. So let's think about this. I should probably do the paper first. It's a bit lighter than I painted it here. Like kind of this area, the paper back there is lighter because it's getting shaded by the cap. So like this part's going to be lighter. And it's kind of lighter in the center of each one of them, like in these tiny little squares and rectangles, because the wood sits on top of it, so that's giving a little bit of a shadow behind it. So we're gonna have to lighten all of that up. I might leave some of these up here alone. Maybe I'll just darken the sides a little bit. Because the wood, like I said, sits on top of it. So I should do that second. And right now I have the black marker lines through it from when I drew it in last week. And that's when I paint that again, after I do the paper, it will go away. And then it's just gonna be a matter of shading and highlighting things. So I can kind of see like there's a little bit of a darker paint here where this column is like forward, and that's how that should be. So we're just gonna kind of keep making changes. So I'm gonna mix up a brown because I'm out of it, I guess. And then use probably Titan Buff for the lighter color, which is what I have here. And then use some black to darken it, and then we'll just kind of go through and do that. And as we're adding those shadows, because like the top of this bar gets a tiny little highlight, we'll add a little bit of texture. So anywhere that I want it to look slightly more wood grain, like I'll just maybe do like a few tiny little lines on something so it has that wood grain texture. So it's just going to be a lot of little tiny work today. And I don't think this is the zoom lens on the camera, unfortunately, because if it was, like, maybe I would just zoom in right here. But I don't think it is. It's funny, Steven thought you'd be finishing this today. Yeah, he's looked at it, but I don't think he's really absorbed how much there is to do. Because my goal is just this today. If that takes me an hour, and I'm like, dang, I have 30 minutes, I'll start on the stone down here. but I don't think that's going to be the case. And then I still have all of the greenery up here, which I don't really love how the cap looks right now, but that's because it's meant to get covered by a lot of stuff. So I'm trying not to judge it yet. Because you're not going to see much of that at all in the end. Like, I think it's like a little bit right here, a little bit of this edge, and then like just the point. Everything else has green on it or is black. Mal's version of Tunic, this one. When Dan put together the time lapse of the big painting for Jordan for me, I was watching it and I'm like, wow, I really worked a lot on that, because I think I was going live like for random hours at random times just to finish it. This one has no deadline, so this one can kind of just take its time. I'm just finishing my coffee, and then we'll work on it. A fun and gorgeous piece. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Obviously looking forward to seeing Jordan. Like, I was talking to Carly yesterday, and Carly's like, she laughs at the strangest things, and I'm like, she wasn't laughing when I saw her. She was too baby. Too much of a baby yet. So I was asking all sorts of questions. Like, I don't know, when does she start sleeping the night? Because I have no idea about any of that information. Carly's like, well, she slept about 7 hours the other night. And I was like, cool. Because I know for a while you weren't getting much sleep. And he says, was that painting commissioned specifically by Carly, or did she want it after hearing the idea? Carly called me up and was like, hey, what if instead of like a normal baby shower gift, you do a painting for me? And I was like, I love that idea. What do you want? And she's like, I want an aurora and a mountain and a lake. And I was like, okay. I was like, do you have like a size like for how big you want this or whatever? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I originally wanted you to do a mural for the nursery, like come and paint it on the wall. She's like, but then she's like, I was thinking like this isn't going to be our forever house. And she's like, so she's like, that's why I think you should do a painting. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I was like, couple questions. Can I stream it? Can I put it on Redbubble? Like, what are you okay with? And I'm okay with whatever you want me to do. And she's like, no, you can stream it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, you can put it on Redbubble. And I'm like, okay, cool. And for some reason, I thought she wanted a cabin. So like, there was a long back and forth where I'd be like, hey, send me a photo of Kyle's family's cabin, because I was going to put it in there. And she's like, I don't want a cabin. I was like, all right. And then I think I asked her like 2 more times, and she's like, no cabin. So somewhere in my head, I thought cabin. And then I did that little aurora painting, and we both agreed that it was very pretty, but it was way too saturated. And she didn't want something quite that saturated. So I did this smaller Milky Way study piece, and we were like, this is what we need to do. So that's why the big piece has the Milky Way on it. And I'm very happy with that choice. It looks very good. It takes up a big portion of the wall in Jordan's room. Like, it's above the changing table. And it's like almost from the door frame to the corner of the room. Like, it's a pretty square room too, so it takes up a big portion of that wall. So, Chriselli, oh, I love that. I do too. When I was there in January, I pulled it off the wall because I had forgotten, like, the day after I left. I was like, oh, I never titled it. I never wrote on the back, because I always write on the back of every painting. Back here on the wood, like, let's see. On this piece, I'll probably write it down here. I normally put the title, I sign it here also, and I try to put month and the year. Sometimes I forget exactly what month I did something, especially when I have a little bit of a backlog like I do now, so I'll at least put the year. And then I write isolation coat and what I'd use for the isolation coat, and then I write the varnish and what the varnish is. Because in the chance that someday someone needs to take the varnish off, they know there's an isolation coat, so they don't have to be as delicate with it, and then they know what the varnish is, so they know the best way to remove it. So when I went there in January, I pulled it back off the wall. There was a point where she was napping and or someone had her, I don't know. So I just went and pulled it off the wall and I wrote on the back of it. And that one had the stretcher bars, if you remember. It had the cross braces. So I wrote on the cross braces because that's just this nice chunk of wood here that's easier to write on. Oh yeah, Carly never gave me a size. That's what I was saying. I had asked her, I was like, well, how big do you want it? I'm like, because I had just done that other big painting. It's like, I kind of want to do something big and I kind of want to make a canvas. And she's like, whatever. So I'm the one that decided it would be 30 by 40 inches. That was me. And then I was the one who had to figure out how to get it to Minnesota. So I did title it something on Redbubble. I don't remember what it's titled on Redbubble offhand. But the actual painting has a different name. And that's what I wrote on the back of it. Milky Way Mountain? Okay. Yeah, it has a different name. Like the actual canvas. And that's like not public, that's just for them. Alright, time to start painting this. This palette that I have here with my math on it, this is my current palette I'm using. This is all of the stone part. So this is not the wood part. We're gonna switch it to a different palette because I still need those colors. Where's... Oh, that's the gray one. This one, however, is in need of being cleaned off. Secret title, Mountain and Milky Way. Oh, I have to sneeze. I've always been a fan of larger titles. I had a professor in college who really did these like poetic titles, and I really liked them. Title, No Cabin. So it has a poetic title. Do not recommend, resist if you can. But then I get all sniffly, which is what's happening. I mean, I'd probably be sniffly anyway. Sapphire Becca says, I always do one-word titles. Oh, I do like sometimes you get a really good like one-word title. Some is just like, no, this is the exact title I need it to be. And sometimes you have to think about it. And the one that's actually up for auction right now, Blue Daybreak, I had originally called it Blue Dawn, and then Dan was like, the VOD is titled Blue Daybreak. What is it? And I was like, I actually like Daybreak better. So then we changed it. So then I changed it on Redbubble, and I changed the YouTube title, because this was before I published it the other day, and I changed the eBay title. Fitting music. Yeah, we're playing Odyssey tonight if you didn't know. I didn't soak this palette, so it's being a pain to scrape all this paint off. Oh, I should have shown you it. It was kind of a pretty... And now it's all wet, so I can't lift it up. Because all the water's just going to run everywhere. Have I played Odyssey before? I have. I played it a handful of years ago. Not when it first came out, but later. Steven has played only a little bit of it. Oh, this is really caked on here. Bardic gifted a sub to Swiffer Sweeper. Thank you for the gift sub. Alright, we're almost done with this. I got all of the large chunks of paint off. I just have a small corner. Wonderful. So that's all the paint I scraped off. It's just in a pile. Now I have to blow my nose because I never sneezed and I got sniffly. Dang it. 1 second. My tissues are in my office. I also thought about doing my nails today. I was thinking about doing them in the colors of my bike because that's also Hurricane colors and the Hurricanes are in the playoffs. We made it to Series 2, Game 2. Round 2? Bike nails, go Canes. Chaz, something too. Whatever, yeah, something. I think the Canes have made it to the playoffs, like, for the last 7 seasons, so I think it's time we need to win the Stanley Cup. That'd be great. It does mean the city will be, really obsessed with the Hurricanes for, like, another month. It's also actual hurricane season now. I think we get another month. It's June 1st. Sadly, Canadians got knocked out. Is the Wild still in? I think they were, like, down a game when I talked to Carly. I don't remember. Vegas knocked them out last night? Okay. So the color I have is a good shadow color, actually. So what I need to do is mix up the lighter color and put that on. Vegas knocked him out. Leafs will eventually let us down. Okay, where did I put Titan Buff? This needs to be cranked. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a wash of this, and my experience in doing washes of lighter colors is never good. I never like how it looks. So what I need to do is I just need to not do that. And I need to just probably mix up a color. So let's see, Burnt Umber, Titan Buff. There's a tiny bit of green to this. What green have I been using? Let's flip back to the not math side. Sap? Yeah, I think I've been using sap. Last week I had on my Hurricanes hoodie, and I was at a deli. When the guy brought me my food, he said, "Go Canes." And then it was like, what? It took me a second. And I was like, oh yeah, we made it to the playoffs and I have my hoodie on. I'd forgotten. So I mixed Titan Buff, Burnt Umber, and Sap Green. And I think this is too light. Yeah, it's too light, but it's actually closer than I thought it would be. I think I'm gonna work my way darker. I don't think I'm going to work my way from the brightest color, maybe like slightly back a little bit, because then I can pull it brighter if I want still. It's better to start there. So if we have our range of values, ooh, we can do a teaching moment. I do like those. Let's do that. Teacher mode. I can't screw this cap back on. It's still not going back on. That's closer. I really need to finish that tube of Mars Black. I need to do a dark painting so I can get rid of that tube. It's like destroyed. Alright, I need a color. Let's go with magenta. Local teacher streamer struggles with cap. More at 11. No cap. I had gone on a group bike ride with some friends. And I was joking that we could all go to Costco and get hot dogs. And I heard someone say glizzy, and I had to look. And then I had to do a double take because, like, I looked and it didn't register. And then I was like, wait, how old was that person? And then I had to look again, and I'm thinking, you're older than me. I was like, you must have children. All right, so we have our value scale, right? So we have, this is white, you can't really tell. And then we have black, and then we're gonna mix that into the white. Okay, so we have a value scale. It's not the best one. I'm also going to do one with a color. because we're talking about color. That's way too much black paint. That's gonna overpower that real quick. Okay, so we have two value scales, right? So we have a grayscale, and then we have it with magenta. So the thought here for painting these windows is I don't want to start with my brightest color and then work my way all the way to my darkest color. I'm gonna start somewhere like here where it's pinkish, but like tan, then work my way dark, and then that lets me bring in these highlights if I so choose. But if I start here, then I have to tone everything down. But if I start here, I just need to add a few little highlights if I want to and decide that it needs it. That's my thought here. I don't think that's what tubular is supposed to mean. I used like some 1920 slang with someone a few weeks ago, and they were like, "Am I old? Is that what the kids are using now?" And I was like, "The kids in like the 20s maybe." And it was a very fun interaction with that. But I don't remember what the slang term was now. Oh, I said them's the breaks. And it was confusing to them. I'm gonna put a little bit of gloss glazing liquid on my palette. And then I need plastic wrap. I have a little bit here, so I'll just use that. All right, so we have our new window color, and this is our highlight color. And I still don't think it's dark enough. So that's fine. I don't know if I like this brush. We'll see how I feel about this brush. Oh, is that bright? Okay. Too bright. Nope. Saying what? Them's the breaks. It's kind of like tough luck, like Like, well, we gotta put the brakes on this gas, and so now things are not fun. We have to slow down. That's how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. Alright, this one is darker. New window color. Friendship ended with too bright color. Time for lighter color, or darker color. Now how do I feel about this? God, that's still bright. Look how bright that is. I'm like, this is probably the highlight color. It's just, I don't want to start there. I'm losing a little bit of the green too, so I'm gonna add a little bit more green in. It refers to billiards? Interesting. Alright, that one's even darker. Let's try that. Okay, that looks way better. More in line with what I'm doing. iPad, you need to be disconnected for now. So this does have like a slight texture to it. I don't like this brush. It's too big. Let's try this guy. So I'm not trying to paint this like super smooth. So I'm brightening them up just a little bit in some of the centers. Like I'm not going to do it on the higher ones as much. I hear Steven.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I've been home for a bit.
Yeah, I know. I heard the garage door when I started.
But I was just resting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's hot.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then also I bought.
What's the temp outside?
Huh?
What's the temp?
It's like mid-80s.
Okay.
Low 80s. Turning into mid-80s.
I see.
Um.
And you went shopping.
Well, I went shopping and it's hot, but then also I bought a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
So I had to bring all those things in from the
Did you
car.
just bring in the ground beef to the fridge for now?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll split that up later.
Yeah, I put chicken in the freezer though.
Thank you, because that's already portioned.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the biggest shopping trip I've done in
A while?
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glancing over at chat. People are like, change the air filters.
Oh, we should have checked that so we saw if we had them.
Yeah.
I think we have them. But I think we don't have a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Nope. Put them on the
Okay.
shopping list regardless,
I will
and
put 'em
then
on the shopping
I think we have
list.
enough for you to change them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to pick up some extra things because of, let's call it, potential supply chain issues. That's the phrase.
That's what we're gonna call it?
That's
Okay.
the phrase we're gonna use. I mean, it's a result of tariffs, but we're gonna call it a potential supply chain issue. So I would, anyone that hasn't already given that some thought, just buy like one extra toilet paper. I just remember back to like the very, very early COVID times when like everyone had to, they went to the bathroom and then they're like, what do I do now? I guess I'll just have to get a shower. There's no toilet paper on the face of this earth. So she's always says panic buy. I do not recommend panic buy.
No.
But having an extra thing seems like a potentially helpful situation. I'm going to tell you my one concern related to panic buy is that when we run into some supply chain issues and people see that some things are disappearing, that other people are going to go, oh no, now nothing is available, even though things are available. Does that make sense? That's my biggest concern. So you don't need to panic buy things, but I would have some extra things on hand. Like if you go to the store and you have a thing, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to buy one extra thing, and then just do it that way. You don't need to hoard. I really don't think that's necessary. But I have concerns that when people are like, oh no, product X isn't available, I better buy a ton of product Y, even though product Y was never a worry. Yeah. Anyway, we live in hell. So I'm gonna go try and
Change the air filters.
change the air filter.
I sure mixed up a lot of color for those tiny bits of window. Here's the thing about this, is some of them are tiny. So the impact of like these little square ones here gets a little lost. That's better. Those are done.
Ah, just kidding.
What?
We don't have any air filters. So,
Do you know what size we need?
yeah,
1 second.
we need 14 by 20.
And what's the other one?
I'm gonna go check. But let it be known that I did look. I went to where the air filters are, and there's one.
Cool.
But we have to replace more than just one. So I'm gonna better go back out to the store. Please no. I was at the Costco when they opened, technically before they opened, and I don't want to go back.
I gotta do this on desktop, but
Okay.
unless you want to do it on yours.
No, you can just do it later.
Okay. Remind me.
Sure.
What time is it? I have like another hour, so.
Okay.
Could you grab my water bottle?
Remind me at 1:43 p.m. to get some air filters.
Could you get my water bottle off the nightstand, please?
Yeah, do you want water in it?
It has water in it.
Oh my goodness, so you're set.
I am set. It's just in there. Okay, windows are done. Now we have to do the wood around them. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna mix up a main color for all of the wood and then have a highlight and shadow and then just kind of work back and forth. And we're gonna stay kind of in this range of our value scale. Just imagine the red is brown, so that if I need to, I can move a little bit here just to do some highlights, or a little bit here if I need to do some shadows. And sometimes it's just about implied, so like the color behind it where it needs to be slightly different. So you can at least see it. Thank you.
Well,
You want to take this coffee cup with you or no?
uh,
I don't know where you're going.
sure. I mean, well, I was gonna go work on the blog, but I can drop this downstairs for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
the painting is looking really
Thank you. Do you see why it's not going to be done today?
good. Yeah.
So I'm working on all the wood and the lattices between,
Yeah.
because I just finished the lighter colors in here.
Yeah.
And then I have the stone to do, and then I have the moss.
Yeah.
That's
See-
why it's not done today.
See, because at this point you've largely transitioned from working on like 18 by 24 canvases.
Oh, I still have a handful. I'm
Sure.
not done with those.
Oh, I know, but like you're working on more like smaller canvases.
Uh-huh.
But in some situations they are taking
Just as long?
just as long because you're putting like more detail work into it.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun for me.
Sure. They are easier to ship.
They sure are.
That's good. Yeah, I'm actually, so people can't see because that's not how cameras work, but I can see behind the camera,
Mm-hmm.
and Mao has, at just quick
3,
glance,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 18 by 24s.
Yeah, this is 9 18 by 24s, like 5 11 by 14s, which is the size you're working on now.
And I have my 8 by 10s over there. I got like 4 of those.
Yeah, so there's canvases in this room, baby.
I'd like to have some more 8 by 10s, but they're out of stock.
Well,
Is this 11, 14?
that's 11 14.
Yeah.
That's 11 14 for sure. Well, beautiful. Absolutely.
More big canvas.
beautiful.
I do like making canvases now that I've done a few.
Oh, making your own?
Mm-hmm.
I will say, and I'm extremely biased, and I know I say this about literally everything you make, but my favorite piece
Uh-huh.
that you have made, strictly from a time-lapse perspective,
Uh-huh.
like, was the big one you did
For
Harvey.
Jordan? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's very big, but
Uh-huh.
also the time-lapse is just fascinating because it's so big and it took you so long that there's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
It's a fun video. So
if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
it's true.
Yeah, I understand. The thing with that is a 30 by 40 inch canvas is very difficult to get somewhere.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things that we looked into it, right?
I looked into different ways to getting it to Carly.
And it was like
I called local places around her to see if I could ship them the unstretched canvas for them to stretch for her there.
Yeah.
Like, and to see how much that was.
Yeah,
and like, it wasn't terrible, but like, it was just like, oh, that would be another cost for someone.
Yeah, I think we concluded that it is impossible for us to ever sell.
It'd have to be
those.
local pickup.
It would have to be local pickup.
Or someone
now.
that would be okay with finding someone to stretch it and stretching it.
Or someone that's really cool with paying like $500 in shipping. Because that's how much it was. It was
To ship it flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was astronomical.
Yeah.
Like it's just an insane amount. So probably won't be doing those.
No.
24 by 18 is like the limits of the
I could
size.
go
a little bit
a
bigger.
little bigger. Not as big as the one with the moon that had the bigger one that I did. When I did the two that Brandon had taken the photo of.
Yeah.
The little one that Brandon has and then the big one that someone came to get. You remember when they came to get it a year ago?
Yes.
Yeah, last June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that piece, that could have shipped because I had a box for that, but that would have been a lot. I'd have to go somewhere between that and 18 by 24.
Fosdick says at that point it'd be cheaper to buy a flight to Raleigh to pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like if and like obviously we don't set those prices. That's just how much it costs to ship something that large. Because once you get to that size, it's like just barely over that limit.
Yeah.
And then it's considered like freight or something.
Yeah.
There's a word.
Freight.
Yeah, and then it immediately shoots to like $500. So yeah, it'd be cheaper to like rent a car
And come get it.
and drive. Even if you had to get a hotel room, it would still be cheaper. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fosdick says
Anyway,
even with international flight fees, I can find a flight for less than 500.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw, I think it was XC Symphony asked if my dad was still painting, and he is.
He's been painting a lot lately, from what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have some of his paintings here.
You just need
actually.
to, yeah.
Yeah, it's just getting all of that stuff set. And people probably understand this, but like it's so much more difficult to like list tons of paintings and ship tons of paintings
Yeah.
as opposed to one. So I've got some here that I need to do, and I just have not had the chance to do it yet.
While I have you right here,
You have me?
can you get me Blue Daybreak?
Yeah. This is selling on Monday, is that it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
My hands have paint, so I'm not touching it.
Blue Daybreak. Is this on? Oh, it's
Nope.
not. It's not on autofocus.
It is not on autofocus.
Sorry,
Oh god.
Sorry, this is where the plane of focus is.
It's also
so-
where my face is.
Sorry, I just want to make sure they can see this. Although I'm here, so I can like check this out. I'm gonna just go and watch
Okay.
this.
I'm just gonna try and like fix this paint cap.
I can just do this. There you go. Look at that. That's a canvas. Anyway, if you think that's pretty, you can get it.
And see it in person.
I just clicked autofocus and it looks like it did a reasonable job.
Okay.
And then after this one, is it?
Watercolor. The orchid.
Oh yeah, the orchid.
The orchid's next.
The orchid is very pretty. I know I'm biased.
You can get that too. It's in my office on the tall dresser.
Do you have products of this up yet?
Not public.
Okay.
I have them uploaded.
Yeah, obvious. Like, if you can get the original, like, cool, that's great, go for it. But like,
it looks really good on product.
this in particular came out really, really good with the digital file. We scanned it multiple times to make it do a good, and then Mal did a really good job with the edit in Photoshop to make sure everything looks good. It's probably one of the best looking digital things I think we've done.
Yeah.
So if you like the idea of this on a product, this came out really, really good. I'm incredibly happy with it.
I am too.
And I have strong opinions about things like that. So yeah, but this is next after this.
Dan edited Kaboom and Sparkle, so it might be Kaboom and Sparkle and then Foul. The orchid.
And then
the spider web. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The spider web is coming.
That's the last one of those, and
this
one will be after. I know
Somber
Noir's like.
In that one. Yeah. There was a huge backlog of paintings.
There was. We're getting through them. It was a lot of the pour acrylics. Yeah.
Yeah. We are quickly approaching a day where you finish a painting and then like within a day or two it goes up on eBay and it's like, okay, the thing I just did is available.
Yeah.
So, which is, preferable.
It is preferable. It does make varnishing a pain based on how I varnish now. But I'll figure that out when I have to deal with it. That's a problem for future Mal.
We love delaying problems to future selves.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna go back
to working
to New York.
Okay. To New York?
Well, to working on New York. I'm partially through it, so I'm trying to make some progress on that.
We have 100 bits from Fire Goddess, thank you.
Are you ready for I am super pumped for tonight. Because from playing Odyssey one time, I don't know. It was the movement is so fluid. I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm curious how much it's gonna like come back to me. But when the first time I played it on that stream, which by the way was almost 5 years ago, it felt very like natural to do that. I really enjoy 3D platformers. So.
There's a little bit of gray to this.
Just making sure I have the focus good. I think it's fine. I could probably shift back like a hair, but it looks fine. That's the one thing I do wish I could solve is like, because you are working on smaller canvases.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish I had some sort of solution for that.
Well, I was actually just saying a lot of the work I'm doing today is very tiny.
Yeah. Like, so one of the things we've talked about before, and like, there's all these things that you can do, it's just, they cost money because you have to invest in equipment, is like getting another C-stand in here to do like an overhead cam.
Yeah,
for, like,
I do.
paint.
Yeah, because like I'm mixing paint right now.
People love that.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice.
So I like that idea, and then I like the idea of having like a very close-up cam on what you're working on, and that could potentially be like a different camera.
Yeah.
So like you have a separate camera in here that's just zoomed in, and you hit like a Stream Deck button, and it swaps to that so people can see real close. But again, that it's just adding cameras,
and then we need different lighting and.
Well, you actually run into a different limitation in here.
Yeah.
And the other limitation you run into is trying to get all of those sources into the MacBook.
Ah.
So at that point, you either need to swap out to like a desktop where we can put a PCI card in, or you stay with the MacBook and get like an A10 Mini, which is a Blackmagic product that you put a bunch of HDMI sources into it.
And then that does the labor of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would use that to swap what you see. So to the capture card, it's one input.
Uh-huh.
But you actually have several inputs into it.
Ooh, this is perfect color.
So.
Ooh. Sometimes I'm just like, dang, I did good. Mixing a color.
Wonderful.
Listen. I gotta be proud of myself.
Chaz says, a different OBS view that's just zoomed in on the canvas section would be a no equipment option.
Thank you, Chaz.
What? That
like we have downstairs where it's like left, right, zoom.
Do you know why that works?
No.
That works because that is a 4K
camera and this isn't?
It's complicated. It's complicated. It's a 4K thing going into a 1080 canvas, which is why you can punch in 200%.
Okay.
But like we don't have that set up here. I don't know if the GH4 will do 4K out. It might, but like this capture card is not 4K. So then you have to swap the capture card, which I guess admittedly is way, way cheaper than figuring out a camera solution. Even if it's not 1080p punched in, it would still be good for phone viewers, or 1/8 of screen viewers, like me.
Listen, Chaz has some game he's playing in the background.
Chaz's gotta make sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like one of the things that I think about occasionally is, when we do
How many HDMI cables we have?
Well, anytime we're doing any gaming things, or breakfast stream too,
Mm-hmm.
like all of that stuff is recorded in 4K, but obviously it can't be seen on Twitch in that way, so you have to watch it on the VOD channel to see it 4K. And I don't know how many people actually
do that.
Either do that. I mean, I know how many people watch the VODs, but I don't know how many people are like, look how much clearer it is. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is a great thing to have. But it's probably like 10 people. It's like 10 people that are like, cool. And then the other 99% of people are like, whatever. It doesn't matter. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Chaz says, I leave YouTube on 720p so it loads faster. Chaz, we have fiber. What does that mean? It'll load the same speed on anything. Chaz says, since I'm playing everything on 2x, loading fast is important. I can't be in here anymore. I can't read this. This is hurting me. I need to go work.
Maybe that's why he's saying that.
Yeah, it's working.
So now comes this long process where I go piece by piece of this. Kind of like filling in a coloring book. And right now I'm doing a vertical piece, which is one of the larger pieces. And I'm filling it in with my base color because the color I had originally painted all of this wood is too warm and not green enough. My new color though, real good. Works real good with this background. It's very harmonious. So we have that. We're gonna not drop the iPad. And then we're going to start highlighting this single little tiny piece. And we're also going to do it with shadows. So what we start to get is we get some highlights down here. I'm gonna also definitely have to shade this because my base color is too light, the one I just filled in, but like I knew that. Because I had to think of the base color for all of the wood, not just like this little tiny thing. And canvas, you cannot do that. You need to stay. You cannot run off on me. I'm gonna have to do a close-up later too because I'm doing some wood texture in this, like the grain, and you guys need to see that. Stay, stay, stay. Good canvas. Sometimes I think about building my own easel because I don't love this one. I like this shelf. I don't like how these knobs are where all of this stuff is. That's poor design. I don't like this opening because when I paint smaller like I am right now, and I have it here where this part isn't braced on this, and I push, it does this. So I have to make sure I have it right where it is braced so it's not doing that. What are the knobs for? Moving the shelf up and down. So I have to loosen both of them and then I can slide it. I got it in August 2016, sure did. I was using that metal one for a long time and that was not fun. That was terrible. I need glazing liquid on my palette again. Could probably add some bits to the existing easel to address that. Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, the thing is it's an adjustable easel, so when I start to put things in here, it's going to mess with that. So the shelf sits in guides right here. Can you see them? There's like a channel right here. There's one on this side too. So the shelf has these notches that sit in here, and then it has this tension plate, which is behind these, to like pull it. It pushes these plates into this, like where my thumbs are, and then the screws push that, so then it holds it tight. And then this piece is adjustable up and down via a screw on the back that does the same sort of like tension thing. So that can go up to support taller canvases. This is meant for people who are standing and painting because there's a piece up here that you can't see off camera that slides down that clamps the top of the canvas. So it's like you have this lip here to hold the bottom and then you have a clamp on top. So the whole thing really should be up higher. It's not really great for the height I'm at. A lot of people stand paint, but I do not. I like to be able to have my lap to put things on. I guess I'm going hyper realist, but I also did all of this math to make it perfect, so I might as well do it. Once I finish this one bar, you'll see what I mean. I'll post a picture and get it close up via the art queue. Okay, I like it. Where'd my phone go? Extra table. Oh, there's a glare. This is going to be very skewed, so we don't have as much of a glare. I don't like it. Let's try and not skew it. Really mess with the color. Shadow. Oh god, that's too close. Okay, that's better. Let's make that color look slightly less wrong. Pull out some of the warmth and pull out some of the yellow. There's still a bad glare on this, but you can see the part I did versus the rest of it. Okay, I don't know what Discord's doing. We're gonna open this the other way. Thank you for using the A button, Chess. So you can see I did the left one. The left one is done, and you can see how flat the rest of them are in comparison. That's what I'm doing. That's why I said today would be nice if I could do like a close zoom in so you could see it. But that's not gonna happen. Time for work. Have fun filling in the details. Yeah, I will. it's just going to be a little slow going, especially on some of these lighter parts. So I'm just hinting at some of the colors and the tones up there. Okay, I did this part up here, where this is, but up top, because it has both of those caps. And I think I want to work my way around, maybe I'll do the center first. That's probably smartest, honestly. So I'm gonna go back to my base color and fill in all of this. Hi, Renee. Renee, did you see the photo that was in mod chat? We had it up on screen. I didn't know if you were here for that part. Like where I'm working, it's tiny. Because you forgot it was Friday. You've had a week. You have had quite the week. It's also mail ready, I know. All of my paint lines on the lattice work is really throwing me off. I think I just need to paint them all solid, and I didn't really want to do that because I kind of like just layering all of this. But it's not working the way I need it to, so we're gonna just have to do that. Because I'm seeing those black lines from drawing them, and it doesn't look good. Now up here I can get away with it because this part's in shadow so much. This is really a trust the process thing right here. Because I'm like, oh no. What have I done? XD Symphony. Oh man, I'm crocheting a star blanket. I made a mistake 10 rows back. Oh no. My advice is to do it. To go back. I'm sorry. Renee says, I attempted to get Maddie to drive from the mailbox to home, 2 blocks. Needless to say, she freaked out and did not do it. So driver's ed will be fun for her next week. think I told the story of when I first drove like an actual car. Driver's ed itself, like my first behind the wheel class, was terrifying. I had driven a car before, but like not much. In fact, I think the only thing I had like done was the story of like when my dad took me out into the countryside of Wisconsin and was like, "Get out." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Get out." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're gonna drive. Get out." And then when I had my first behind the wheel class, that was terrifying because it was like, all right, we're gonna drive through the streets of the town now. And I hadn't ever driven on any streets, so that was terrifying. I at least wanted her to be behind the wheel a little bit so driver's ed wasn't a culture shock. Yeah, that would be a good move, I think, to do. I'm losing a lot of the value I had for this lattice work by doing this. But like I said, this is a trust the process thing. I need to just know that it will get better. It's not there yet, but it will get there. So right now I'm just erasing essentially a mistake. It's not really a mistake, it's just the stuff that you don't see underneath. First time I was with a driving instructor, they made me get gas and put me on the highway. I was so scared. Yeah. The first time I had my own car and I went on the highway was the first time. My car was a stick. I was not ready for that. To get all the way up into 5th gear and get on the on-ramp, that was terrifying. Not prepared for that at all. I also had the behind the wheel instructor that was kind of notoriously mean, and no one had good things to say. But they always paired us up in twos, so you would have like observation time and you would have behind the wheel time. So the other person, the other student, would be driving and you were supposed to be observing. And then you would switch. And so one of the first times I got paired up with this girl that kind of said and did whatever she wanted. Like, she wasn't like a mean cliquey girl. She just was just very open about things and would not take shit from anyone, essentially. And I got paired up with her, and her bluntness towards the driving instructor made me not as scared of him. And I was a mousy child. I'm a mousy adult, but that helped. So I'm thankful that I got paired up with her, even though I would have much rather be paired up with like a friend of mine. Fifth gear on the on-ramp, that's 3rd gear. Well, like, you know, you're going up through the gears as you go through the on-ramp. But by the time you're up to 65, you had to be like in 5th gear. Did you try to convince the instructor to go through a fast food drive-thru? Yeah, she did. She's the one that did that. And so then every, like, behind the wheel class I had after, like, I was like, come on. Let's go. it's good practice. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. Confused in automatic transmission. I do miss driving stick. I thought about, like, if I could get any car, like if we were going to get a second car and I could get any car I wanted, I was like, I want to get a BRZ and it would be a stick shift. But then I was like, but it only uses premium gasoline and I don't want to pay that premium to have that car. It doesn't make logistical sense. And then, like, you know, Steven would have to learn to drive stick if he was ever going to drive it. I'm pretty sure, like, only Jeff could drive it and Alex, if I needed someone else to for some reason. So just, like, logistically it didn't make sense, but, like, I was like, I like it. We have a 25-month resub from Snowy Sataru. Good morning, afternoon. We're starting to get to the afternoon. I am nowhere near where I hoped to be for this painting today. That's fine. Okay, we filled in all the lattice with our base color. Only manuals in the Philippines? My sister and I were the only ones I knew in high school who had manual transmission cars. Great choice, though. One of our neighbors' kids gets picked up in a BRZ all the time. I think he's like a freshman, and I think he has a friend who can drive that picks him up and has a BRZ. So I see it, and I'm like, Now we can start shading this. So the vertical pieces on this lattice work are in front of the horizontal pieces. So we're gonna start there. We're gonna start with our shadow colors. Now my goal is to finish this lattice work today. Didn't I just say I was doing the horizontal parts first? I sure did. If you turn the camera sideways, those parts will be horizontal. You're not wrong. This will slowly, like right now it's kind of blurry, even in person here to me. So it's gonna kind of just slowly have to come into focus. I'm gonna try and remember to take a photo when I'm like halfway through so you can see like this blurry effect that it has as I'm working through the different layers here. Hi, Kirby Music. Yeah, something is... What happened? Let me do this part, and then I'll try it. Yeah, on-screen chat is doing a thing. I think I just need to refresh it, yeah. Chat, properties. There, I think it's fixed. Back to painting this. So let's see, shadow color, go back to that. We have a 25-month resub from Gadzooks. Hello. I need to click back on this window so that that button works. This is kind of fun to see it coming together. Like, it really is like it's coming into focus, and it's very fun to see. I'm also getting faster at what I'm trying to do with it, so that's good. Once I see the vision, it's kind of like, ah, there it is. One, two, three. Alright, let's do these two, and then I'll take a photo so you can see it. Is next week going to be Foliage Friday? Still working on the stone or the wooden part of the lantern. Don't know about that. All right, that's half, so let's show the difference there. Focus is a little off, but you can see it. Unrelated to painting, but any update on the garden situation? I emailed the landlord and they haven't gotten back to me. This is something I've been like asking them for months, and if they tear the garden out, that's fine. I was going to just do herbs on the porch anyway this year. And that, oh god, that's the wrong button. There we go. So you can see how like half the lattice work is done, and like the right half of it is blurry. The photo's a little blurry too. They haven't gotten back to me, the George landlord motto. Ah. All right, let's finish up this lattice work. Oh no, a race is starting. I'm not ready. Just some highlights on this, and then just an overall look at this lattice and see how I feel about it. I think I need some shadows on the vertical slats too. Okay, those feel really good. We have a 26-month resub from Dragon Girl. Hello. All right. This needs to get done so that I have kind of like a separation of what I've done. And I know it's been a bit, but that needs to get done. Because that is a good stopping point. think that's too bright. Whoops, let's tone that down. It does not want to. That's fine, we'll fix it. Better. I'm just doing the same thing on the right side, where I'm just bringing in a little bit of wood grain. Okay. That part is done. So from this bar down is not done. But that is a good stopping point, and I need to eat something. So that is a great spot to stop for today. It's not the goal I had in mind, but that's fine. Getting paint all over my hands. Plug up the iPad so that's not dead for next week. Wash my hands off. I think I'm going to do a zoom in so you can see. And then the colors aren't messed up from my phone. So while I'm cleaning my hands and before I do the zoom in, let's talk about things that are coming up. The blue Daybreak painting is up for auction right now, as well as the time lapse and Redbubble. So check those out, because that turned out really well. And then tonight, Steven and I are playing Super Mario Odyssey on his channel, and I've been very much looking forward to this. Ever since I played it, I've been looking forward to him playing through it and getting to see everything. So I'm very much looking forward to tonight. Yes, roll. I can do that from this computer. Downstairs one I can't. Or is it the other one? One of them I can't roll. Monday we're going to play a game on my channel. I don't know which one yet, but we're going to play some sort of game. We'll see. I have some ideas on that. And next week, Friday, now that I have the rhythm down of this and I know what I'm doing, and the lattice work, which was the part that would be difficult, is done, the rest of this should go pretty fast for the details of the painting. Happy about that. Shadow of Destiny, Vagabond says. I'm not opposed to that. That is one of them I'm considering. I'm gonna have to do some stretches. I got a long bike ride coming up. I gotta be ready for that. So yeah, that's all the news I think I have. Where's the brush I was using? This one? Let's make sure this is really clean, because this one's going really good with this painting. So I need to make sure this brush is real clean and in good shape. Shape that right. And we'll put that there. Then I won't forget. Why can't we pin 2 items? Multi-pin. Get on it, Twitch. A suggestion, please. Multi-pin. Alright, everyone. Thanks for being here. Oh, I was going to do a close-up. Let's do that. I can do what Steven did, right? Did he put it on autofocus? Oh, he changed it back. Cool. Let's do that. There we go. There's detail. So you can see the top part of the wood is done, but the bottom bars are not yet. They're kind of orangey or red-ish compared to the topper parts. See, this is why I need to eat. I'm very hungry. Focus, camera, come on. That should be close enough. Thank you guys. I'm very happy with it. It's coming along just like I wanted. A little more detailed and more slightly hyper-realistic than I thought, but it's doing it. It's working. It looks good. Thanks everyone for being here. Hope to see you tonight for Odyssey. I'm really, really looking forward to it. We're starting that off, and it's going to be very cool. So hope to see everyone tonight, and I hope you have a good Friday. I'm gonna run to the store and get stuff to make cake.